weekly stock market update where I share my personal opinion and insight of what's happening in the Philippine stock market and all other markets around the world. If you want exclusive investing related contents in the Philippine stock market, check the pinned comment. So this market report is for July 27 to 31. Ang theme natin, positioning for the pivot, rebalancing flows, and macro data watch. So summary, PSEI consolidated the 6236 as rebalancing and macro signals diverge. So rebalancing, tatanggalin daw si Converge. So ba't siya tatanggalin? Kasi lumagapak yung kanyang stock price. Therefore, lumagapak yung kanyang market cap. And market cap times free float, ayan. Nasa ata yan, di ba? 20 plus billion. Papalit Maynilad na mas malaking business, okay? Na may mga umasa, baka daw pag in-infuse si Maynilad, baka mag-rally. Na personally, I doubt, no? Hindi siya magra-rally. Kasi yung papalitan niya is significantly mas maliit na business. Ayan, 145 with almost 30% na float. So, parang papalo ng, parang 40 plus billion, no? I doubt na magra-rally to, yung Maynilad na yan. In fact, feeling ko babalik to sa kanyang, close to its IPO price, if not lower than that. Okay? So, PE niya based on last year's earnings, 145 divided by 15. So, 9, no? 9 na multiple. Mas mahal yan compared kay Manila Water. And actually, Manila Water is the one that's growing faster. At least this year, no? Ayan. So, ganoon din, no? 15. Pero, trade lang siya around 93 billion in market cap. So, feeling ko pagpapantayin yung dalawa yan. Pagpapantay yung earnings multiple ng dalawang yan. Especially kung, by bad sentiment ulit. Feeling ko mas sell down si, Maynilad kesa kay, Manila Water, no? 15.8. So, around 5.8 na P multiple. Nag-grow siya ng first quarter. So, mas definitely, mas cheap siya ngayon sa 5.88. Yung Converge, I think, karoon yun ng selling pressure. Pero normally, inuunahan na yan eh. Bago pa yung mismong date, no? May iba dyan, nagbebenta na. Okay. Na interesting doon kasi namimigay na ito ng dividend eh. So, pang mag-correct to, below 7. Tapos yung yield niyan, di ba? Nasa utility stock na yun yung consideration ko sa kanya, hindi tech stock. Kasi nga, majority ng kanyang earnings is coming from their internet business. So, utility stock, kailan medyo mataas yung yield. So, I think pag below 7 nata, papalo siya. 7% yield eh, no? Magandang saluhan. It was a high volume event driven week for the local bursts. Nag-ano siya eh. Actually, bumagsak ulit siya eh. Away na naman sila dun eh sa visit na Middle East. Oil price hike, so most elevated ulit yung inflation in the coming months. BBM, may mga headline, mutang na naman. So, mahirap, no? Still a difficult economic environment for some businesses or most businesses to thrive. The index experienced active swing trading throughout the week, initially surging past 63 on early Middle East de-escalation. Meron ba? May napanood nga akong parang news sa US eh. Sinisigaw-sigawan na daw ni Donald Trump yung mga general niya. Hindi sila makuha ng hindi nila makuha yung goals nila eh. Wala daw plano eh. Or di nila ma-achieve yung gusto nilang goal eh. 3 major factors defined market action this week: PSI rebalancing and institutional portfolio shift. So, ang ginagawa ng mga fund manager, so yun nga puposisyon na sila ahead of the upcoming rebalancing. Driving Friday's value turnover to an elevated 10.8 billion. Pre-macro data caution, investors took a defensive stance and trim equity exposure ahead of a busy calendar. No. Inflation na obviously elevated pa rin yan. Ito, labor force data. Pag pumitik yan, tapos sinamahan ng Q2 GDP na disappointing, ay, BBM, anong gagawin natin? Sell yan. Peso recovery and wage hike, TRO. So, hindi natuloy yung wage hike. Tinapos lang yung SONA. Okay? Para, may masabi. So, Philippine peso gained a solid ground pero 61 sobrang taas pa rin yan. Ibig sabihin, may na pa rin yung economic outlook ng Pilipinas. Meanwhile, news of a court issued TRO on the proposed Metro Manila wage hike provided temporary margin relief for labor-heavy corporate sector. Saka na ulit yan, no? Yung news niyan pag so na ulit, okay? So bago yan, tayo, no? Commodity check. So gold, galon pa rin, settle siya around 4K. Crude oil, still elevated, no? 84. Coal, wala pa ring sentiment. Ayan, 130. And nickel. Nickel is, pa rin, no? Medyo rebounding a little bit. Now, ito na yung mga year-to-date performances ng, ba't ibang indices na tinatrack ko. So, the PSI, nag-retreat siya, 3% year-to-date. Nasdaq, nagre-retreat, around 12%. S&P, close to 10%. Emerging, 17%. So, malakas yung Southeast Asia, no? 15%. International, malakas din, 12%. And total world, malakas pa rin, 10%. And my personal dividend retirement portfolio, 3.33%. Na-outperform ko na ulit ang PSEI and nag-underperform sa ibang indices for this year. Pero since 2021, outperform ko sila including QQQ kasi nga nag-retreat yung kanyang stock price. So, pa-start pa lang yung third quarter, maba pa yung taon, madali pang pwedeng magbago dito, no? And of course, nagre-report na yung mga businesses. So, nag-report na yung Big 3, no? BDO, BPI, MBT. Lahat sila Q2 declining profit. Ay, yari talaga yung Yari talaga yung Philippine economy pag ganyan. So, halatang nahihirapan yung mga businesses, no? Now, doon na ako sa blue chips and large cap stories. So, BDO. Ito, nag-report, no? So, nag-report siya ng, declining Q2. Dito ba? Ito pala, no? So, nag-decline yung, niya, Q2. Pero, first half performance kasi medyo nag-grow siya ng Q1. Flattish, no? Book value, 121. So, dahil flattish siya, I think, sell down ulit to. So, feeling ko, after ng rebalancing, there's a tendency, ibagsak ulit sa kanyang book value, no? Number 2, ICT. So, active global fund trading as international port volumes provided strong dollar. Denominated term, magre-report na naman to ng strong Q2 na growth. Last pa rin yung dolyar. All-time high, okay? Number 3, SM. Monitored closely by conglomerate desk tracking consumer foot traffic metrics ahead of major Q2 earnings release. Feeling ko declining yan Pag declining to, sell down to So SM, wala pa ring sentiment. Pag nag-decline yung Q2 nito, baka sell ulit yan So BPI similar to BDO, nag-decline din yung kanyang Q2. Na si BPI, same thing with BDO, I think. Ibabalik ulit to. Near its book value na, I think around 90 yata yung nito. Book value niya. Okay. JFC, generated steady retail and fund manager interest as international store expansion. Support long-term. Revenue target, yun nga problema While yes, may momentum sila on the top line, yung bottom line nila yung laging nangyayari, no? So JFC, may buhay pero pag nag-report to ng declining na Q2, I think sell ulit to, no? Kasi pag nag-decline ulit to ng Q2 with the current macroeconomic environment ng Pilipinas at sa ibang bansa, baka madaming maniwala, ay tapos na yung nito. Tapos na yung growth story nito. Kailangan na natin tong sell. Di ba? Bagsak na yung kanyang multiple sa mga yung mga kakaya ng mga matured na business, ganun. Which is normally mga below 5, below 10. Pag ganon, malaki babagsak nito ni Jollibee. Ayala Corporation, consolidated within a tight technical range. Wala, report na si BPI, declining eh. Malamang si Globe, ganun ulit eh, declining ulit to eh. And Ayala Land, no? Medyo nangyari sila dyan. Pinipitek due to the optimism on Mint, GCash, IPO. So, Mayor, sa usapan to ngayon, sa speech ni BBM, tatanggalin daw yung loss. Strong defensive buying after policy updates following the SONA highlighted power sector grid priorities. So, ang dami nagpanic. Sell. Ayan. Laking di ba? Laking red candle. Negative 15% in 1 month. Na si Mer, nag-report na rin nato to eh. Di ba? Ng kanyang Q2. Still growing. Ay, wala pa pala rito. Nag-press release ata. Growing sila ng first half. So, taas din siya ng kanyang dividend rate. From 11.3 naging 11.758. So, ngayon, yung issue na yan, ilan ko yung electric bill namin eh, kinompute ko. Parang ang loss charge, lalaro siya 3 to 5% ng total electricity bill. Diba? Ngayon sa loss charge kasi na yan, may component yan. Yung isa is yung normal na loss, which is yung loss kapag dumadaan siya sa mga transmission, distribution. Kasi nga kuryente, mga wire na yan, may resistance. Natural, may loss yan. Meanwhile, may loss naman, yung mga nagja-jumper, ganyan. I think yun yung dapat pabayaran sa kanila. Kapag yun lang yung papabayaran sa kanila, I think baka lang yan. Mga 1% to 2% ng kanilang profit, no? Sa kanilang distribution business or electric distribution business yung matatapyas every year. Eh kung nag-grow naman yung kanilang visit na power generation business para i-offset yon. Possible mag-flat pa rin si Meralco eh or a little bit growing in the coming years, and yun yung fa-factor in mo sa valuation model mo, di ba? MBT. Ito rin. Isa ka pa. Nag-report ng declining Q2. Lahat na sila nag-decline. Ito yung inasahan ko na kasi mas maganda yung NPL dapat nito eh. Pero maski ito, decline yung Q2 niya eh. Pero ito kasi, unlike BDO tsaka BPI, ang MBT nagte-trade na siya below its book value na 91 no? Ending second quarter. So 91, nandito ba yung 91 eh? 91, nandito, ayan no? Ang hindi pa nagre-report si China Bank, na si China Bank, yun yung may feeling ko may mas potential na mag-grow sa Q2. Malalaman natin, no? So Globe, supported by income-seeking desk, pushing for steady dividend distribution profile. Di na nga tumataas dividend ni Globe eh. Di na nga tumataas. Palagyan yung niya, shares outstanding kasi mahilig to mag-issue ng share for tawag doon, stock incentive, no? Pero yung optimism kay GCash IPO. So, baka pitikin yan, no, this year. Number 10, EMP. Benefited from international consumer demand stability and currency hedging advantage. Wala. Sabi nyo mayayari kayo mga shareholder ng Emperador eh. Mag-decline lang ulit to ng Q2, no? Mahal to eh. Significantly, mas mahal siya if compare mo siya kay Keeper tsaka GSMI. Sobrang mahal nito si Emperador. Na siguro baka mostly mga foreign investor yung meron dito kaya papakiramdaman lang na kailan magbebenta eh. Ayan 3.8, di ba? Kahit sabihin mong 6.3 bumalik sila sa 6 billion na profit eh. 244 divided by 6 billion, di ba? Ayan, ano yan? 40. Sila GSMI keeper, below yung mga yun eh. Below 10 na earnings multiple ata. So eto, pwede ba ito mag-correct? Ilan lang nito mag-reward ng pangit, your sobrang pangit na na tawag nito, na report. And pag nag-correct to, I think, malalim-lalim yan. So next, mid-cap and small-cap stories. SEB, upgraded and broker watchlist as easing global. Tumatas na nga ulit eh. Malamang mayari na naman to. Yari siya ng second quarter, malamang mayari ulit siya ng third quarter. Wala namang sentiment sa kanya, di ba? A-rate, high yield, dividend desk, accumulated shares on minor pullbacks. So parang may hint na mag-interest rate hike ulit sa next meeting. And ang sabi pa nga, baka magkaroon ng jumbo, di ba? Jumbo interest rate hike. Nakakatakot. Kasi nga elevated pa rin yung inflation. So pag ganon, ma-rate magko-correct yan. So ayan, medyo nag-rebound pero feeling ko magko-correct pa rin yung mayan eh. Number 3, FGen. Steady position building from energy desk. So ano pa rin yung mga Indonesian gustong pumasok. Pasukin nyo na tapos tender offer ng tapos na yung laban, di ba? Na possible mangyari yun kasi madaming geothermal energy dun sa Indonesia eh. Mga untapped geothermal energy may expertise yan yung EDC eh, di ba? Number 4, ALLHC. Wala to, ito yung ito yung tawag nun, industrial arm ng Ali. Walang sentiment kasi di maganda yung performance nito eh. Di mabenta yung kanyang cold storage. Yan. Maganda lang pakinggan pero di pala mabenta. Number 5, C-Rate. Mid-cap yield attention as solar power generation income streams remain shielded from broader. Wala pag may interest rate hike. Lahat ng rate nagko-correct talaga. So ayan resilient pa siya nung mga nakaraan pero feeling ko sell down yan eh. Number 6, RCR. Attracted steady retail income account seeking defensive high occupancy office rate distribution. High occupancy kung tuloy-tuloy na pangit yung economic environment, business environment, baka karoon ng dyan. Karoon ng mga vacancy. So, resilient to Announce na ba to ng niya? May announcement din nato to May parang increase ulit siya RCR, wala pa, no? Web continued to see active retail speculation following recent strategic corporate equity placement. So, Web, dahil maipit dyan. Pag naipit ka dyan, punta ka sa social media. Sisihin mo lahat except sa sarili mo. Okay? Number 8, EEI monitored by Construction Desk tracking National Infrastructure Project. Meron ba? Parang wala akong nakinig na sinabi ni BBM sa zona niya. So EEI, hindi rin maganda yung sentiment niya. Malaki utang nito Madami to project, hindi lang materialize Number 9, SPNEC. Triggered selective momentum waves as renewable energy traders monitor ongoing site development updates in Luzon. So once na nag-online yung phase 1, Terra Solar, may na to, Magre-register na to ng profits and cash flow. And from there, pwede na siyang i-value, Pwede siyang gawan ng valuation analysis ng mga professional. And pag nakita nila, ay, ganito lang pala to. Yun na, di ba? Kita na overvalued, sell nila yan. And number 10, VLL. Found technical horizontal support as provincial residential land bank developments absorb steady OFW remittances. So VLL, wala to. Kaya rito ngayon, hindi nagsasabit ng ano to eh. Di ba? Hindi nagsasabit ng report to eh. Ayan o, September 30. Nag-change din kasi ata to ng auditor, so malidelay talaga pag ganun. Pero, visit na yan, no? Third quarter na, wala pang sinasubmit na madaming report. So, global and regional market pulse. Global equities experience mixed price action as Wall Street and Asian regional bourse digested US Federal Reserve's latest rate pause decision. Kala ko ba dapat laging rate cut. Yun yung utos ni Donald Trump eh. Ibig sabihin, hindi rin maganda economy ngayon ng US. Nag-aalangan sila. Okay. International oil markets experience a sharp midweek cooling. Wala, elevated pa rin, no? 80 plus. Concurrently, emerging market asset managers closely monitored global tariff policy signals na parang Pilipinas lang ito yung napatungan ng additional tariff. Kung sino yung alay mo, siya pa yung napatungan ng tariff, no? Lupit mo talaga, Donald Trump eh. So, forecast for next week, first week of August, testing support ahead of GDP. Yan na, no? Ay, GDP na naman. Ano kaya i-report mo, BBM? So, pag GDP lagapak ulit, lower than expectation, ang pinaka-worst, lower than last quarter. Last quarter, di ba? Nasa, below 3%. Teka, yung type ko rito, no? PSCI. So, mag-report yan ng sobrang babang GDP. Ay, putik. Sell to. Automatic yan. Magpapanik yung mga tao. Magpapanik yung mga investor. Ay, BBM, anong ginagawa? Anong gagawin natin? Ganon. Number 2, post-rebalancing liquidity normalization. Tapos na pala yung rebalancing, no? So yung mga rebalancing kasi na yan, hindi ko siya, hindi ko siya tinutukan kasi pointless tutukan yan eh. I'm not sure bakit nauso sa mga retail investing community yung rebalancing na yan. Laging ang daming dyan, no? Nakatutok, nababaliw, ganyan. Number 3, peso leveling, near the 61, 61.4. So mag-stable daw siya. Nag-report yung Pilipinas ng diba? GDP or weak GDP. Sell yung peso. Ay, all-time low na peso, no? 62. Yari na naman yung nun, no? Pilipinas, kamot ulo na naman ng nun. BBM admin. Kung sakali. Pero malay natin, no? Pag may surprise na GDP growth, syempre, ito magrarally to. Feeling ko i-break niya tong previous niya na to. Yung 6.6, no?